Ich freue mich jetzt, mit einem absoluten Experten im Pet-Food-Bereich zu sprechen, mit James Large. Über 30 Jahre hat er schon Erfahrung in diesem Bereich und seit 2011 ist er der Experte für Pet-Food bei der TPG. So, James, what a pleasure. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, nice to meet you, Dominic.
So let's talk about the FA456 and the huge amounts of advantages we're dealing with. First of all, I would like to know which main advantages would you define?
So really, the flexibility for the types of bags that the machine can run. More specifically, the 456 can run paper bags, plastic bags, and hybrid materials too. So all modern types of packaging. And again, top slider, which is very important in specifically the pet food industry, is no problem to run either. So it's also the high running capacity. It's got a very high throughput. It's an industry standard leading throughput and a very large magazine capacity. Very low maintenance. There's no lubrication system on the machine, and there's no large wearing parts either. And most importantly, I think, is the ease of use for the operator. All changeovers are performed by recipe selection from the operator terminal, and that itself is quite intuitive to use too.
Next to the technical innovation of a machine, it's also of high importance that it operates in the most efficient way. What USPs for the FA456 are they in terms of visibility and access?
Well, as you can see, the machine is a very open design, and this translates into being able to clean the machine easily between runs to avoid cross-contamination of different products. And where customers are using TPM methodologies, an easy visual check can be performed with very little training. Coupled with that, easy access is an efficient guard system. So this ensures safety, but at the same time, by using frameless guards, the customer has great visibility, even with closed guard doors. And again, the running speed that we can achieve and the accuracy that we can achieve in controlling the bags running through the machine, that's very important from a cosmetic point of view, certainly for more high value pet food products.
Okay, got it. So now I would like to go more into technical details of the 456 and to look at individual elements. So in this case, the magazine you mentioned before. So which positive aspects do you also like to highlight?
Okay, so the magazine has a very high capacity for all bag types actually, meaning that you can run at the fastest rate without having to replenish the magazine that regularly. So typically 15 to 20 minutes at full speed between magazine filling. So that means that the operator can be released to do other tasks running in parallel to operating the machine, which that effectively leads to a labour saving for the company. So the magazine,
and this is huge improvement.
Yeah, absolutely, huge improvement over what we'd normally expect to see in the pet food market for these types of filling machines. So again, the magazine's also very easy to load. So it's very open in its design and very safe and very ergonomic. So, and for bags with the top slider, these are normally shingled on the magazine, which is quite a complicated process for an operator to do. But it also reduces the overall capacity and the number of bags in the magazine. And the 456 eliminates this by allowing us to stack all types of bags on the magazine. And a very important point to note with the 456 magazine, that it's a no loss in between changing stacks. So when one stack is empty and the next stack is moving into position, quite often what you see on these packaging style machines is a gap in production. The machine misses 1 or 2 bags while this process takes place. With clever design and good control, we've completely eliminated that. Now that might seem like quite a small step as an improvement, but when you look at these machines running 8, 16, 24-hour days, that micro stop every so often to change that stack can add up effectively over an 8-hour shift running at maximum speed to an extra 10 pallets per shift. So that's quite an uptake in production capacity.
That sounds like a huge improvement as well. And the topic about high capacity is a very important one. So let's change subject just a little bit and talking about the filling and the sealing of the machine. As far as I know, you also implement a couple of improvements as well here. So what does that mean for everyday production life?
Absolutely. So the machine concept itself, we took a look at the market trends and needs in the marketplace for manufacturers that might be interested in using this equipment. And to be honest, there's been a lot of innovation in the process side of dry pet food, so huge leaps in extrusion performance, which meant that for quite a few producers, packaging was actually the bottleneck in their process overall. So traditional machines in this segment that this machine sits in for 7.5 kilo to 25 kilo typically operate at around 18 bags per minute maximum, whereas the 456 can actually reach 25 bags per minute. So that's quite a big jump and able to keep pace with the improvements that we've seen in extrusion. So key to achieving this were quite a few changes to the way that the machine operates and handles the bags and the product. So when the bags enter the machine from the magazine, we measure where the top of the bag is and we keep that in position all the way through the machine. We never let go of the bag. So we're not having to let go and then reassign or realign the bag. We keep it in the same position all the way through. Now, for a zip slider bag on the top, that's quite important because the sealing area is quite a small area and you have to be very accurate. But for other bag types, it also improves the cosmetic appearance for the consumer. So that's equally important, really. And then the way that we fill the bags has completely been redesigned. So we've eliminated any funnel shapes. So the product flow is as smooth and as fast as it possibly can be under normal rules of physics. So what we've done is really improved the way that the product arrives into the bag, and that was key really to getting this speed improvement. And it also, as a additional benefit, means that large kibble sizes really don't slow the machine down as they do in traditional filling machines. And the other thing that also means is where you have semi-moist pet food, then that's also equally easy to fill.
I think the advantages in relation to the handling are totally clear. But in context of decision making, the numbers of packed units per minute and the potential of saving costs especially are very important decision maker. What can you tell us about the performance of the FA456 in general, and of course about the potential of saving costs in a comparison to competitors?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 456 is designed effectively to have a very rapid return on investment. In fact, due to competitive pricing and the before mentioned points about the speed capabilities of the machine and the accuracy, which leads to less wastage, the 456 reaching 25 bags per minute compared to the average of 18 in the market. So this can translate into real reduced labour costs. So if you're running a 3-shift system, that perhaps opens up the opportunity to run only a 2-shift system, which is a big labour saving. And it also means you have greater flexibility because the faster you can run, really the more changeovers you can do. So where you have many SKUs for a company that's producing 40, 50 different SKUs in these bag sizes, they can switch very flexibly, very quickly between those because of the easy changeover and because the time that you would normally spend changing over, you're actually running. So that reduces all of the time that you require for the machine and you can run very flexibly. So we've made some calculations, very sort of thumb in the air calculations using the 456, and it really translates into an extra 275 bags per hour. So that comes from this no loss stack change and the ability to run at 25 bags per minute. So when you calculate that 275 bags per hour up, depending on your pallet configuration, and everything, that's 4,400 extra bags per shift. So on a 2-shift system of 8 hours, this can possibly mean that you could run 1 packing line instead of 2 packing lines. But if you could go from a 3-shift system to a 2-shift system, just on labour savings alone, that equates to a 33% saving, which is not insignificant.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot, and I guess this simplifies all the calculation decision maker are going to do. James, thank you so much for your detailed view on the FA456.
You're very welcome.